Definitely a very pertinent question. It's from Aliye Cornish, who's fairly well known to us. She's fairly recently taken over as CEO of the Irish Baroque Orchestra, and she now lives full-time in Dublin. So her question is, the government's blame game and complete failure around protecting freedom of movement for musicians is nothing short of a catastrophe. Do either of the speakers foresee this changing anytime soon? The sector has already been deeply hit by COVID and desperately needs freedom of movement in the EU as part of its recovery. And if I could put that question to Tony first, please.
Yeah, I mean, there's been two different versions of that particular story. I mean, the EU's version is that they did offer a standard mobility package for journalists, artists, musicians, sports people that they offer to America, for example. But the UK was not interested. They kind of stalled during the negotiations, and then they tried to bring it in through the back door of the services sector, which is not the way things are normally done. Now, the UK government sort of disputes that, but that's where we are. You know, I think if the UK wanted to, if there was enough political will and pressure, they could negotiate an arrangement with the EU on this. I mean, this is the thing. The two entities are going to have to get on with each other geographically. They've no choice in years and decades to come. There's nothing to stop them making some future agreements that might help people. Again, at the moment, it's up. You know, if you are going to tour, then you will need if you're going to be paid when you're on tour, which I imagine you would be, then you're going to need a work visa. But it's up to each member state. Different member states have different rules. There's no single EU visa. So the question is, would individual countries really demand a visa for a band coming to play in their capital? Hard to say, but again, that's no use to the bands. They need to know what's going to happen. They need to be prepared. There's the other thing about cabotage, which means that a tour bus can only make 2 stops from the UK into the EU, and they can't go from one country to the other on a tour bus. So they'd have to hire an EU tour operator. So yeah, but all these things are, again, you know, just pure results of the UK's position in the negotiations. Yeah, we'll see if they have the political will to change it.
Thank you. Jonathan, do you have anything to add to that?
I think I agree with Tony that it comes down to political will ultimately. I mean, you know, if the UK was to go to the EU and say we want to be in the single market and the customs union, I mean, obviously they might be taken aback, but you know, these things are doable. You have we're still aligned at the moment. It's technically, you know, you could have a negotiation with the European Free Trade Association, you know, where Norway, Iceland, Switzerland are. You can negotiate entrance into that. Then you can negotiate your entrance into the EU single market via EFTA. You can negotiate a customs union in the same way that Turkey has. You can negotiate a better customs union. All these things are possible if the political will is there. The EU ultimately wants the UK to be in its economic orbit, and even better if the UK doesn't get a seat around the table to make decisions. That's a perfect situation for the EU, actually, because the EU can sort of make decisions for the UK and the UK has to implement them. So, of course, if the UK were to kind of try and negotiate something, there would be interest in the EU. It's in everyone's interest for there to be a close relationship, and the EU's obviously always been interested in freedom of movement. So, yes, but you know, I just don't see that being the political situation at the moment, and the UK government thinks it's powerful enough that it can basically send people to the wall because it knows it won't hurt them politically, which is the sad truth of the matter.
Yeah, it seems as though they're doing everything in their power at the moment to upset and annoy the EU, whatever they can.